What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here. So we are out Sunday, rainy. It is supposed to be raining all day, chance of thunderstorms, but here's the project lawn. I've kind of handed it over as far as mowing off to the church maintenance staff, which is Mr. Jeff here. So he's been mowing it. Was just out here talking with Mr. Blake. You can see this is where the septic lines are. Oh, you're come on out. This is where the septic lines are, and it's probably, we were joking, but some of it may be leaking way down in the earth, because this section looks really good and fertilized, where we're still having that yellowing. And I think it's a little more than just winter dormancy, because obviously this looks really good. This don't look so hot. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's still pH related. Oh, you can come out. I'm standing by the door and everybody's like, what in the world, this guy's filming? But I think it's pH related, but I think during the spring when we put down more lime, it should help with this. But just wanted to show you, it's really, we was out here looking at it, me and Blake, it's really thickening up a whole lot. Some of the bare spots, you can just look over top of it. The bare spots have begun to fill in. And again, the Kentucky, you see like right here, the Kentucky bluegrass is a spreading type cultivar or grass type, right? So this looks way better over here. That's the biggest update, is it's filled in more as far as thickening up with the mowing from the church staff and Mr. Jeff. It is thickened up, but the color, the browning, I don't think it's a fungus thing, because it's just not been consistently warm and wet. So I don't know. So we'll have to look at this in the spring. But there you go. There's the church lawn. Quick update. What's going on, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. I apologize we wasn't able to get a video out to you guys on Friday. It's just been crazy. We've got basketball going on. We had a very close family to ours have a death in the family. Just a lot of running around. It's a busy time of year, as always, it seems. But thank you for tuning in. I hope you was able to see that quick project lawn update. It continues to thicken up. And that's kind of what I want to talk about in a weird way. We're in between rain showers, so hopefully I can get this in before it starts back. So let me just show you the back. We've talked about this back area where we did the dense shade mix. Coming out of summer, it was super splotchy, patchy, thin, and I was like, oh boy, I should have 100% overseeded this back area over here. But with today it's warm, but we've had a lot of cold day temperatures and really cold in the teens morning, fluctuating up and down. Today we're getting the rain we need. But I want to talk about this back section, because not overseeding this backyard, I've learned something, I think, that really just dawned on me, but I want to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm out here in my new Christmas tree pants. So my wife got me, so I look like an idiot to the neighbors, anybody looking out their door. But briefly, before I get rained on, this area was super patchy. You guys remember in the previous videos I showed you, and I was like, oh man, we should have overseeded this back section. And many, not picking on anybody that said this, but they were like, Mr. Ferguson, the trees, they pull a lot of the nutrients in, so that grass it's tough for that grass to stay there. But it's really thickened up just like the project lawn back here. And that's what I wanted to show you just briefly. This area has thickened up. It is like night and day. We showed you what it was like at the end of summer. There's Mr. Thunder. And now with the cooler temps, it is thickened up. It's like a different type of turf. Obviously I don't want to show it all to you. We got to blow the leaves off still, and hopefully with this storm more leaves will come down and we can blow them off in the woods back here. But this section has really turned around, and that's kind of what I talk about again, as I just mentioned, what I've learned not overseeding for 2 years. I've picked up on something that's just cool. It's like a what are you talking about? This isn't worthy of a video. This is a duh thing. But let me just briefly explain what I mean by that. So I've had to retreat to the front porch where I can have some shelter here, but just look at this lawn. I mean, it's looking absolutely gorgeous with that urea, the humic-coated urea from the Andersons I've constantly talked about. It is definitely watered in now, and it's just the best looking green this time of year, man. And today it's warm, so it's really cool. It's grown a little bit from that fertilizer, but not a ton. But back to briefly what I wanted to just mention to you guys. We seeded this last year and it looked really good. But there was and if you recall, I did a drone shot, and I don't think I still have it, but the front yard, the stripes weren't as good looking as the side and the backyard. And I was like, well, that makes sense. The side in the backyard is 2-year-old grass, where this we just planted in September, so it's not even a year old, where this It was, well, at the time, I guess it had made it a full year and come around. So it was a more mature grass versus the front yard, which some of it we just basically overseed. It had a lot of new grass in it that was still maturing, right? Since it overcame the winter. And, so this past fall, we didn't plant any seed whatsoever besides areas we've spot seeded some of the Poa triv. But what I've noticed is just like on the back where I was like, oh my goodness, I've done screwed up back here by the shed, on the side, by those trees. I was like, I should have 100% overseeded the Den Shade mix, and I didn't. And now it's going to look rough the entire year. All the time when I'm filming on the back porch, I'm going to have these ruts and spots. And that's not the case. As I just tried to briefly show you, it is filled in. It is come back to life. It is such a, and that's just the thing that I was just talking about, is the way the soil temperatures, the weather, and just God himself has established how grass operates. There's probably big lawn care words for what I'm about to describe, but I'm a simple DIY person living in North Carolina. I don't know the terminology to use possibly, but there is it's like two different grasses, two different lawns from the cool season in its prime, in the cold temperatures, the cold mornings, the frost. It's not growing crazy, but when it's in these cooler moments, it looks spectacular. I mean, it just looks amazing. Like, it's the color, the urea, and the feeding of the fertilizer. It just looks incredible. Coming out of summer when we were making those videos where it's like, oh guys, we're in trouble, it's thin. We're coming out of where the grass is deplenished of hydration. We were lacking. Remember in November, here in North Carolina, we've been lacking water. So during the time we're filming that, it didn't have the water it needed. We just started fertilizing it, and it was like, oh man. But there's something about the soil temperatures cooling down. There's something about the weather and the season and the cool down of fall. Really cooling down in North Carolina. Now up north, you guys probably do it way more rapidly, and you get what I'm saying. But in North Carolina, it's like we're in December today. It's 70 degrees. We got tornadoes, severe thunderstorms right now headed through my area. It's likely to just the bottom drop any second now. But it takes longer here. And then some years we don't get, our lowest temperatures are in the 40s. We don't get it. But I'm just telling, it's like two different grass types, if that makes sense. Cool season shines in the cool season. It's like, duh, Mr. Ferguson, that's why they call it cool season grass. That's why Bermuda shines in the heat, because it likes hot weather. I was like, duh, I get it. But to see it, like, I'm able to see, not overseeding, I guess, in the back and the side yards. It's not the new baby grass that makes it look so. It thickens it up when we do that. When we overseed on the side and in the back, it's going to make it look thicker. I remember the first year I went so heavy on my grass seed because I killed everything off, and it was like a desert back there, and everybody thought I was insane, that I went so thick. I did like 70 pounds of seed on this property that I remember I couldn't even find dirt. There was so much grass that came up and germinated. Now, whether that happens all the time, and people online were like, this is the first year you planted? Oh my goodness. And I guess that's rare. But I couldn't even find dirt. I'd sown seed so much I couldn't even find soil. Now that's not the case. It's thinned out a lot over the years, and maybe that's why I haven't needed to overseed. But not overseeding, it looks fine. The side and the back look perfectly fine. I don't regret that whatsoever. In the edges, though, I was like, that Den Shade mix. But it's really come together in its own. Now there's still gaps, there's still areas where it's like, okay, yeah, I could overseed, but it looks perfect. It's like the soil temperatures and the weather has allowed that grass to come alive, and it's repaired and fixed itself. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe it's a mental thing. But point being, your lawn, if you're in North Carolina, you know what I'm talking about with a fescue lawn. It's probably shining if you're fertilizing it right now. And again, we had some heavy rains this morning, rains at the church all day. We saw the project lawn. It was raining out there. And we got more rain coming through any second now. And that's just going to make this grass look better. But again, I haven't mowed in like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, even with that fertilizer down. So it looks like it is growing. Looking at it in person, it just looks so good. I wish it would stay like this year round. I wish I could make it look this nice. And this color, I mean, it's just a deep dark green, and I hope you can kind of see that. I will walk out in the rain and show you the rest. We do have germination now over here in these areas that I pulled up the triv. We do have germination as of today. And again, my wife stuck candy canes in here, but we've got germination right here in this pot where we're doing GCI, laterally spreading fescue. We're going to try to just observe it, see if we see any laterally spreading of the fescue. Or does it just look like grass that comes up? Will it spread around or not? This is her tomato pot, so we actually may not have a chance to see what we want to see. It may get transplanted somewhere, but we do have germination now over there in those areas we pulled up the Poa Triv. So just all around, it's just, the lawn is looking great, guys. It's low maintenance. It's like natural, and I mentioned this on the last video, it's like natural PGR. The cooler temperatures make the grass look better and the growth slows down. It's not crazy. I haven't put tons of nitrogen on my lawn this year. I've been focused a lot on the project lawn. So it's like natural PGR. We're getting to those mornings. I'm noticing some frost burn on the tips, just like at the church. But ultimately, it's looking great here. So I wanted to bring you a Monday video. Again, it's winter months. We may do 2 videos a week. If I've got something to share, we'll definitely talk about it. But thank you again to those watching these videos. Give them a thumbs up if you would. But we're looking great here in Central North Carolina. Let me know what your lawn's looking like, guys. Is it looking great where you are? Is it slowed down, or are you still mowing? Let me know. God bless you. We'll see you on the next one as the lightning rolls in.